Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Well, hello everyone. How are you? How are you today? How is life? How is everything? Welcome back to my class, Standardized Test of Structure Meeting 2. Well, this is our second meeting in our class, and I hope that you guys are ready for having the activity that we are going to discuss. The material, not activity, right? That we are going to discuss. And I have already give you what is that the exercise last meeting. I hope that everyone can do that activity, because from that activity you guys are going to be able to what is that to imagine what type of question, what type of activity that we are going to cover for this whole semester, especially the TOEFL test, right? Because yeah, this is our class that going to focus more and more regarding to grammar and also the structure, whether it's punctuation, grammar, and anything, of course. Okay, now before without any further ado, this is what we are going to discuss for today: clause and basic sentence structure, right? And yeah, like what I told you before, when we are dealing with the basic sentence structure, of course everyone should understand that, right? In every basic sentence structure, it should be at least subject, verb, or object maybe. However, the most important thing is subject and verb, right? For example, I sleep, I smile, I laugh, I cry, etc. That's the very basic sentence structure. And also the clauses, right? Clausa, okay? And today we are going to discuss more about this. I hope that everyone will be ready and happy to discuss it. Okay, now, when we are talking about basic sentence structure, of course, it usually operate using similar pattern, like what I told you before. Subject, verb, and object. That is the thing that everyone should understand, right? And every words in a sentence serve as a specific purpose in the particular sentence, like grammar, sentence structure can be sometimes be quite complicated. However, I want to make sure that everyone here will not be what is that get confused with this kind of uh, material, especially about subject and also verb and also object. As long as you understand that the minimum requirement for the sentence is subject and verb, I think it's going to be what is that enough to learn more about that. And the two basic most part of the sentence is the subject and predicate, like what I told you. And here we are. When we are talking about sentence, of course there are some types of sentence here, and in this case that what I want to share you is the simple, compound, and complex sentence. Everybody knows about that. I'm sure that everyone already learned about it in the previous classes in the structure 1, 2, or 3, right? When we are talking about simple structure, of course it's only need subject and verb, like here in the example, she smiled, right? And then when we are talking about compound sentence, of course, there are two or more simple sentences joined by the coordinator and punctuation. For example, she smiled and she laughed. And then there is also complex sentences, right? And what is complex sentence? What is the difference between complex and compound? Here we are, independent idea and dependent idea in one sentence. So that's why when we are dealing with the complex sentence, it should be at least one dependent clause and also one independent clause. Sorry, one independent clause and one dependent clause. For example, here, she smiles when she's happy. She smile here is the independent clause, while she is happy is the what is that? Is the dependent idea. This is the clause of explaining about the time. When is she smile, right? Can you see that the difference between compound? In compound, of course, there are two sentences also. She smile and she laugh. However, in this compound sentence, she smile and she laugh is quite, what is that? Same. They can be, what is that? Independent by themselves, right? So that's why she smile and she laugh is same level. All of them are independent clause. So that's why what we call compound sentence. Okay. And now let's move to the next one. We are going to break down the material about sentence. This is subject. Okay, when we are dealing with the subject, this is what is that? The subject is of the sentence is the person, place, or the thing that is performing the action of the sentence. Okay. Of course, I'm sure that everyone knows what subject is, like the man, the house, Mr. Harry, Mr. Harry and Mr. Titis, Mr. Harry and Miss Sahara, Miss Susiati, and that's what we call subject, right? And this is of course noun. Remember that. Okay. Okay. The next one is predicate. Of course, I'm sure that everyone knows about predicates, right? Like build, read, make. The man builds a house. The man is the subject, build is the predicate. Mr. Harry read the novel. Here, like example, Mr. Harry is the subject, read is a predicate. So that's why predicate is one of the two that the most important thing if you want to make a complete sentence. Yeah, besides subject, of course, right? Subject and predicate. Okay, the next one we are going to talk about object. Here, when we are talking about object, we have at least two type of object here: direct and indirect subject. Sorry, object. The direct object receives the action of the sentence. The direct object is usually a noun or pronouns, like this one. The man builds a house. A house here is the direct object. Can you compare with the indirect? This one? Indirect object indicates to whom or for whom the action of the sentence is being done. The indirect object is usually a noun or pronouns, like this one. The man built his family. His family here is indirect subject. Indirect object, because the man did not build his family. He did not make a family, but he make a house, and then this house is for his family, right? That's why then what we call indirect object. And then like another example, the man built them a house. Same, them here is indirect object. Yeah, the house is for them, maybe his family or something. Okay, that's what direct and indirect object. And then now let's go to the example of what is that? The subject and object, and or maybe basic sentence structure in the form of question in TOEFL. This one, the example here. Blah 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 was picked up for miles on the freeway. Okay, when you have this kind of situation, you have to think about it. In sentence, it must be at least subject and verb. Can you see that? There is was picked up. This is verb, and there is blah blah blah. So it means that we need subject. Okay. When we need subject, of course, we can see from the answer here, like yesterday, it's impossible. In the morning, impossible too, right? So the answer must be between C or D. And now let's take a look at this. Between traffic and cars, those are nouns. Those can be, both of them can be subject. Now let's take a look at this. Was here. When there's a to be was, it means that the subject must be, that's right, singular. Traffic and cars. Cars is incorrect because this is plural. So the best answer or the correct answer must be C, right? Okay. That's the way how we handle the question in the form of TOEFL test. In the topic of basic sentence structure. Now, the next example, let's take a look at this. Engineers blah 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 for work on the new space program. Here we have subject. And then we need blah 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 for work. Of course, there is no verb here, or there is no predicate. So we have to make sure that the answer must be predicate, right? Necessary is not, hopefully is not, next month is not. Of course, the best answer is are needed, because this is predicate that we need here, or verb. Okay, good. The next one, the example number 3. The boy blah 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 going to the movies with a friend. Let's take a look at this. The boy is subject. Blah 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 going, right? So when we have this kind of situation, we have to think about it. The boy, we have already has a subject, so it's impossible, or we cannot has another subject here. So A and B is incorrect, because he, when we choose A or B, there will be double subject, right? So it's incorrect. And then, so the possibility will be C or D, right? Is relaxing or will be, because there is already a verb in here, going. So that's why It's impossible for putting here. For putting C as the correct answer. Is relaxing is impossible because there will be double verb ing. So of course the answer must be D. Will be going to the movies. Okay. Thank you. I think that's all for the explanation. You will have your more exercise and activity in the in the activity parts in Open Learning. Okay. See you tomorrow. See you next week, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.